Hello friends, welcome to my channel Go Digit. Today in this video we will learn about the concept of installing an extension on the Business Central Cloud environment from the Appsource directly via AL language, right? Today in this video we will make an extension in the VS Code and we will write some functions into it through which we will directly install an app from the Appsource. So for example, if I show you up here, currently this is my test environment. Okay. In order, for example, if I want to install any app which is a part of the app source and I wanted to install it in my Business Central environment, so we have to go to the extension management page. And here, when we click on the manage, we click on the extension marketplace. And when we go to the extension marketplace, from here, we will search our app, whatever app we want to install, and then based on the app selection. So, for example, if this is the app I want to install, I can click on this and then it will get installed in my system. So, for example, I've already installed this app in my web client in this test sandbox environment. You can see that this is the app. All right. So now this is the app for me, and this has this app ID, name, publisher, and so on. Now, whatever operations I'm doing in terms of installing an app from the app source, I have showed you up. But all these things we can do directly in the AL extension itself. So let's see how we can do that. This is my VS Code, and here I have created one project. And in this, we have this one sample page available. So we will create some functions, some action buttons here, and through which we will directly be able to install an app. So how we can do the same? Let's see this. So what I can do here is that I can create some action buttons. So for example, the first action button I want is that I want the details of the apps. Okay, so let's say caption app detail. All right, now trigger on action dependent where I create one data type of module info. All right. Now, what I need is nav app dot get module info. Okay. What this function basically takes is that it takes two parameters. First is the app ID and second is our data type, which is the module info. So app ID is something which I need for against which I want the information of the app itself. So for example, as I told you that I've installed this global app like from the app source directly into my machine. So what I need is this app ID. So I can copy this. For example, I've already copied this here. I'll copy this app ID and let me paste it here. And the second parameter which it takes is the module info variable. So I create it here. Now, whatever details of the app is required based on this app ID will now be available in the mod info variable using this line. Okay. So for example, if I want to know what are the details, I can know about the same. Okay. So for example, I can type mod info dot. You can see here that ID. ID means the app ID. Okay. Then mod info dot name and then mod info dot package ID. Okay, so when I will run this or when I will click on this action button, it will give me the information of this particular app which I have passed against which I have passed the app ID. Okay, now after this, I'll create one more action button. So this is not the intention of today's video, that how we can get that information. But as I told you, that I want to install an app. So since I've already installed an app, so first thing is that I want to uninstall it. Okay, so let me mention it here as uninstall. Okay, uninstall. I can, details is not the right word, uninstall app. Okay, now in this, what I need is one more variable of code unit extension management. So this is the code unit which will play a vital role to play with the extensions and the operations which are required to install an app from the app source, to uninstall an app from the app source, and other details. Okay, so for example, if I just delete this line and type my variable, now you will see that there are so many plenty operations or functions are available in this code unit, right? We can like upload extension, unpublish extension, uninstall extension, and delete extension data. Simply uninstall extension, refresh status, is this app is already installed or not. If you want to install this extension, you can go with this. If you want to deploy this extension, so there are plenty of things. Okay, so let's say I want to uninstall this extension. So for uninstallation, we have two operations, two functions available. One is simply uninstallation. Second thing is that after uninstall, like I want to delete the data as well, just like we do it manually. So for example, if I show you up here, let's say I want to uninstall this app. So if I click on uninstall, uh, you will see this option, delete extension data. So if you want to do this, then this function is also available. Okay, so let me go back here, uninstall extension. Okay, so it takes how many parameters? It takes two parameters. First thing is the package ID, and second is that is UI enabled or not. Okay, so it needs package ID, not the app ID, right? So that is why the reason I have written this line, okay, is just to get the package ID from the app itself. So now, because I know that my variable mod info is having the package ID, so I can pass it on. And because the second variable is UI enabled, so I'll pass it as true, and that's it. Okay, so that's it. Based on this package ID, system will understand that the app ID is this one, and this is my app which I want to uninstall, right? So this action will simply uninstall the app from the uh, web client. Okay, now let's see if I want to install an app. Okay, install the global app from the app source. So I will name it as deploy, and here it is set as deploy. All right, now there is a function called deploy extension. So if you place your cursor here, you will see the definition that it says deploys an extension based on its ID, which is an app ID, and the local identifier. This is a local identifier. This method is only applicable in the SaaS environment. So if you are running a on-prem business central, then unfortunately it is not available for you. All right, so now I need the app ID. So I know that I can either pass it as modinfo.id because it has this, it holds the app ID, or because this is my app ID, so I can directly copy paste also. So no need as such for this line of code even if you have the app ID with you. Otherwise, obviously you need something like modern. Okay, so like this one. And now the second parameter is the local identifier. Local identifier is something like Windows language ID. So, for example, if you search here language, okay, so this is the column and this is the number which you have to pass in the second parameter. So based on your location, based on your language ID, you can select the same. So for example, I can select this 1033. Okay, here it is as 1033 and the second parameter as UI enabled, which is 2. All right. So although I don't need this, so I can comment this line also if you want. So that's it. Now this will this function will search this app ID on the app source. You can understand in a layman terms like this, that based on this app ID, it will search in the app source and install that package from the app source as a global app in your business central SaaS environment, right? So that's it. Now let me compile and build this project and let me install it to see the output, like how these three functions will behave. So currently, because the app is already installed, so what I will do is the first thing is that we will try to get the information about this app. Okay, and then we will uninstall this app. And the third thing we will do is to again install this app from the app source. So let me close this tab and now we will see the actions one by one. Okay, so this is our page and here are the three actions available. So first thing is the app details. So if you click on it, you will see that this is my app ID, this is my name of the app, and this is the package ID, right? It is giving me the information about my app line by line. Click on OK. Now the second thing is because the app is already installed, so I can see first like how this function behaves. Uninstall app. Click on uninstall app. Now it is giving me a message that it was successfully uninstalled. All active users must sign out and sign in to against navigation changes. Okay, based on what basically extension is installed. So for example, if an extension is having multiple dependent extensions as well, so it will give you the prompt just like a normal prompt you will receive while if you try to uninstall manually, like that where if you try to uninstall this app, it will install the list of other dependent apps. So would you like to go? So based on that thing, it will give you that message and you have to click on OK and it will do the things for you. Now, if I go to the extension management page just to see if the app is there or not. So you will see that now app is gone, app is not available. Okay, only Microsoft extensions and one is this extension against which we are testing the functionality. Okay, so there is no extension at all. The thing is, uh, generally, if you play with PTE apps, pertinent extensions apps or dev apps, so you will see that after uninstallation, the app will remain there, right? So if you like, for example, if I click on uninstall, see it's a dev app. If I click on uninstall, uninstall, okay. Now you see that app is still there. Is installed is showing me false, but app is still there, and I have to unpublish it if I want to remove this app from my page. But while we were uninstalling the global app, the app is completely gone from this page. It is not allowing us to unpublish. So this is actually happens with the global apps, right? So if you are playing with the global apps, then simply as soon as you uninstall the app will uh, go from your extension management list page. It will not be available for you, right? So that is how the functionality works. Okay, so now we have seen that uninstallation operation, how it is performing. Now let's go back here. Let me refresh just to because I've uninstalled it and then I installed it. So that's why I'm just doing the refresh button. Now let's see the deploy action button as well. So for this, click on actions, deploy app, and now you see that it is now installing app name. Just like the same thing, which the same prompt, same screen, uh, same messages, which like you, if you try to do manually uh, to install an app from the app source, same operation, same kind of an experience it is giving you when you just create an extension, write an extension in the real language, and this is how you can automate it as well. So, but yes, the fun thing is that you need an app ID. In general cases, like for example, if you have the list, you can create a page here and you can mention all the list of the app IDs, and then one by one you can play with those records. Okay, but let's wait for it that how successfully or if I get any error. Although the operations, the main use case of the deploy app function works like this only. It is now the connection between the app source, your internet, and all that stuff. Uh, how it will behave in case if any error comes. So it is not because of the function which you write in your extension, but it because of some other aspects. Okay, so your app is installed and ready to use. So just to be sure, let me go to the extension management page, and you can see here that app is now available, right? And if I click on app details again, I'm getting this message. Okay, if I deploy, sorry, I'll get an error might be, but it will try to see whether an update is available or not. Okay, but now if I uninstall, for example, it is now app is gone. And if I click on app details again here, I get an error. Why? Because if you come here, it this function basically returns Boolean. And because this app ID is not a part of my sandbox environment, Boolean is returning false. And I have not handled it well. So that's why I'm getting an error. So you must have to handle the results as well, which I have not done here in any of my lines which I have written. Okay, my purpose was just to give you the information about these functions, but now obviously, if you're writing in a production environment, then obviously you have to handle all the scenarios and the conditions as well in order to give your user a nice experience. Okay, so that's it in the today's video, which I would like to share with all of you. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, please hit the like button and please subscribe to my channel.